Hi dancers, welcome back to my channel. I'm Claudia Dean and I hope you're having a fabulous day wherever you are in the world. So today we are filming an exciting video. I uploaded a video called Audition Hacks. If you haven't seen it, then check it out. But I asked you all if you wanted me to create a dance resume CV video, and there was a lot of requests for it. So I'm finally filming it today, and I'm basically gonna go through with you all what you should include on a dance resume, because a dance resume is very different to just a regular resume. So I'm gonna guide you all through my own dance CV. Now don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give this video a like if you love it, and let's get straight into it. Also dancers, in the description box below, just click on that link and you'll actually be able to download the resume, and it's super easy for you because it means you can just input your details. First of all, with a dancer resume and any CV really, it's got to look very clean cut. I wouldn't be using very italic font. I'd use font that's quite easy to read, making sure that there's no bright colors. It's just very neutral colors. As you can see here, we've added a little bit of a border to give it a little bit of something, because otherwise it does look quite plain. But this is the general layout of the CV. This one in particular is 3 pages long because we've included 3 photos, which makes it a little bit longer. So the first thing here, as you can see, we've got all of our contact details up the top to begin with. So our first and last name, also an address, so whether it's where you live or a postal address as well. We've got the email in there too, so if they do need to contact you via email, they've got it all there. The mobile as well. I'd probably suggest too, if you're sending it internationally, to include the area code just in case. This one we haven't because we're assuming that we're sending it to somewhere in Australia. Next is my age, and then followed by that is my height. And height is really important to include because there could be directors out there that are looking for a particular height to fulfill a certain role. So that's important, you've got that in there. Your weight, this may or may not be necessary. I would include it though, just to be sure. Date of birth and my nationality, so where I'm from, that's important too, because they might want a dancer from a particular country, because some company directors might be looking for a particular look or different cultures. It just depends. So it's very important that you put your nationality there. You can include your eye color and hair color if you wish. We haven't done it in this CV though. Now, the next section is all about your employment and experience. So it's really crucial that you do mention pretty much every bit of experience that you think could be beneficial to that director or company. Obviously, the more experience that you have, the more likely you're going to get hired, because they know that they can trust that you've experienced a professional environment before. In this case, we've stated that from 2010 to 2014, I was with the Royal Ballet. Then followed by that is my training. So from 2009 to 2011, we've got the Royal Ballet School, 2008 to 2009, Prudence Bowen Atelier. And it's really important that in these areas that you list the most recent history first. So that's why we've got the Royal Ballet School first, followed by Prudence Bowen Atelier second, because that was in my earlier years. Now, I think it's important that you include awards or achievements. This is completely optional depending if you have these awards or achievements. So try and include things that are going to impress this director. So obviously, let's just say you won a very small competition in a small place where maybe the director might not have heard of. It's probably not best to list something like that down. You're better off just listing the major achievements that have happened in your career to date. Now the next section is repertoire performed. So obviously if you've had professional experience, it's quite straightforward. You would obviously list all the ballets that you have participated in, and also perhaps the choreographers that you have worked with. If you haven't had any professional experience, I would try to include perhaps some repertoire solos that you've done on stage, or local major productions that you've been a part of. So in this area here, I've listed a few. We actually didn't list every single ballet that I had been a part of because I couldn't think of all of them at the time, but obviously here they can see that I've performed a lot of different ballets, so that's all pretty much they want to see. Now, the next section here, this is optional, but I think it's really important that you include your audition photos, because I find that if you attach them to the email, they're not necessarily going to be opening it. nearly all the time directors would open up your CV, and if your photos are attached there, it's like they're forced to look at them. Whereas if you kind of attach them separately, again, that's another task they've got to do to find out more about you, which can be hard because they don't have a lot of time, usually these directors, because they're busy people. So I think you're better off just attaching your favorite photos. So perhaps 1 to 3 would be plenty. And then at least everything's all there, it's all very clean, they don't need to click on any other attachments. And obviously with these photos too, you have to make sure that they're really professional as well, because that's sort of the impression that they're gonna have of you straight away. So you're wearing a nice leotard, the positions are very clean, they're simple, there's nothing that's too out there. And let's just say if you were going for a contemporary company, you'd probably include more contemporary photos. So try and imagine what they want to see that's gonna suit their company. So obviously in this case, let's just say I'm auditioning for the Royal Ballet again. They would want to see ballet photos, not a lot of contemporary photos. With the audition photos here, you could actually also include a headshot, because it would be important for them to see what, eye color and hair color and skin tone you have as well, because they might be looking for someone with brown hair for that particular season. So it could be smart to put a headshot as well, but just for this time, we've just included some dance shots. Also, don't forget that when you do complete your CV, make sure you save it as a PDF. I'm sure you all know how to do that to make sure that it can't be edited or changed when they're viewing it. And also keep in mind that some companies might have some specific requirements that they want you to do in order to send the CV off. Like they might say, we only want 2 pages, or we only want 2 audition photos. So try and just make sure you do stick to what they're after, because again, that does make another impression of you straight away if you're not listening exactly to what they want. And there could also be some companies that require a cover letter. So make sure you know enough about the company, you know who you're addressing the cover letter to. And for those of you that might not be familiar with a cover letter, basically a cover letter is almost like a front page, and it's sort of like a note to the person that you're addressing it to. So make sure you know their name, and also something along the lines of that you want to be considered for their company or school. And that's only if they require a cover letter. They usually specify if they want it or not. So dancers, comment below if you're unsure of anything I've said today, but I hope that you've learned a lot about how to write a resume CV, especially for dancers. So keep enjoying the rest of your day, and lots of love. I'll see you in my next video.